Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to the podcast brought to you by the ANOUVUE Collective, where we're going to talk about everything film related, from script to screen and anything else in between. Stay tuned. You know, this night would not be complete without incomplete.
Complete.
Oh, right. Why that one day? Brandon need to come and talk about that himself.
One of the big thing in this discipline of filmmaking is the subject and topic of that you have to take. It's a 3-credit course in most film universities. I think of philosophy. And
Randy teach it.
yeah, I went through it like 3 times when I watched it the first time, and you know it's I don't know if the incomplete was referring to things that are there are things that are done and then some that's undone, or things that are not completed, things that you start doing and you don't finish them. You know,
I feel like it's a love story.
Yeah, it could also have something to do with and how it ends with him laying on the bed is also a part of the story, and he's watching it. I'm like, are you so tired that you just like, could you just be really tired of everything that is he that tired of being by yourself, one, or two, just you're probably go through something and you just can't finish everything. I trying to pick up even the socks. I'm looking at this still is I'm trying to pick up if it's 2 different footer socks. I don't know if it's 2 footer socks, but one say Adidas and the other one.
Knowing that is a man,
clothes.
Different
Yeah.
footer socks.
Yeah, I don't know, but because it started off with like glasses on the chair and with chopsticks, and then something with a pen and paper, like that's something incomplete, and then in your space there's a cup there's a glass in the sink. I kind of was going through the shots and I'm like, it just could really mean that. This is somebody who just kind of detach, if you just kind of deal with them. Is that probably the mental health? I just like, whatever, right. I'm not doing this today.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because like when I saw it, one of the first things I thought was, I'm showing this to my experimental class. Next semester when I teach experimental filmmaking, I'm definitely showing this, because when I was watching it, I was saying to myself, like, I was thinking similar to you, like he was tired, but I was looking at it from a case of, it feels like somebody who leads a monotonous life, like them go to work and them come home, them go to work and them come home. And this is like a Friday when work is done and you come in and you take everything out of your pocket, you drink some water, you eat some food, and you just decide, say, yo, man, I go just lay down, I just go to bed, because I'm just tired, So you live in this life for somebody else while your life is incomplete,
Yeah.
And one of the things that I kind of wanted to mention last, but I'll mention it now anyway. When I shared all of these films with people, what I loved was that I got different reactions. Like, everybody loved different films. There was no film that you could say, okay, consistently most people like this film and consistently most people didn't like this film. Everybody had something different to say. And with his film, you got the most variety of answers. One guy said, oh, no, man, this look like, say, him come home and him hungover from drinking and blah, blah, blah. And him say exactly why, right? And somebody else say, oh, him feel, say, him sad over a girl or whatever the case is. And then it's like I realized, say, people are relating to it, based on their you're finding something to relate to. So that's why each of them finding these different stories, because they're relating to it in different ways. Like, for them, this is what they would do in this situation, And I was like, this piece is deeper than it looks.
It's funny because I know somebody who watched it, and at the end of it, they asked if he killed himself. because of the foot shake at the end. Like he just shaking foot, and then that was it.
And I had the opposite. I was like, when I saw his leg still at first, I was like, all right, him dead. And when the leg shake, I go, oh, I'm awake. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, it's so crazy. I feel like Randy, he did a really good job in terms of allowing people to look at a story or develop their own meaning of the piece through their own lens. And even highlighting some of the stuff like the money on the counter. But when you look at, like, if you count the money, it's like $700 or $800, and then the bill, like the invoices where you have, like, I don't know if that was a purposefully done thing, but the bills are placed up so you could see what is on it, and it was like over $2,000. So it's like, what is his financial state right now? Is it that he is overwhelmed by cost of living and them things? So it plays into the bigger picture. And you did see him like walk by, and then the concept of time is also introduced with the clock on the wall, and it being later now in the day now, it's like 6 o'clock, and then even at the clothes obviously are all around the place. And a part of me, like, just knowing him as a person, I wondered if it was relationship based, in saying that, well, you don't have this person with you all the time. And so, well, you feel this sense of incompleteness because they're not around, you're not able to touch them there.
And the space looking the way that it looks, like that. You know what I mean? Right. Without a woman's touch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that too had it plays to what I was thinking about. This place is trashed for the most part. And then because he doesn't have this helpmeet counterpart, so it'd be like, hey,
it's like a sense of like a Lego yourself.
Yeah,
sort
you know what I
mean? Yeah, that's like it's one of them avant-garde pieces. It is. This is the definition of subjectivity.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like, I'm listening to what you're saying and I'm listening to the different point of views. It could be, it could be something having to do with a relationship. It could just be having something to do with your life as even as a filmmaker, because there's a business card with mint.co as well. Or it could just be just life in general. Like time keeps going and there's just so many things to be done. But the truth is, you probably just don't want to do it, or leaving a plate in the sofa is not something that somebody would normally do. Is it that you just reach at this point where you're like, right now, just
like a bottom type of low?
Yeah, it could. So it could be so many things. It's So while you might be going through this thing, you can still be functional, but you might very well just be going through something.
And one thing that I really liked about this and the intentionality behind it is the fact that it was black and white. Black and white gives you a
contemplative type of vibe.
It allows you to remove distractions.
Yeah.
Because of color.
Right.
And color allows you your eye is now being taken all over the frame. With black and white, it gives you this sense of calmness, peace. It also allows you to just kind of focus a bit more. You know what I mean? It's a little bit less distracting. So it's philosophically, it was like incredible, like really, really good. At first, I was like, Randy, what the hell did you do?
Yeah, trust me.
What's this? But then, there's beauty in things that look like a mess. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people, when they look at certain paintings that just look like them just splash. When you really look at it for a while and really allow yourself to be immersed in the experience of this painting, then you're now taken to a different side of what could be your perspective of your story within this person's art. So
and I mean, To add to what you're saying about this, the subjectivity of it, is that, one of the things that I noticed from my experimental level is the fact that he's showing you a lot of these things in the room, and he's showing you them prominently. He shows you the wallet and the watch and the bills and the cup in the sink and all of that stuff, the fan, etc. But then when you see the person, it's just their legs, and the corner of that door is just kind of dirtying up the frame, so you never actually see the person. So you're actually, you know it's about this person, but you are examining the state of their mind through how the objects in this room, are scattered, so to speak. It's like if you had to walk into somebody's room and analyze who they were just from how the state of their room, that's what this film was doing for me, because it could have showed who was in the room, but he didn't. Left that to hey, what you've seen is what you have to go off of. That was interesting for
me. So Roger Deacon and Bradford Young son them, Wentworth and Denny, y'all can keep going all deep into this stuff. What if it's simple as the man run out of time and he just did this in the last minute? What if? No, wait. There's that, and then there's also the thing with Dennis where it could be that, or it could be that and this, where it could be the man just run out of time. He did say he was gonna shoot it. He said he did shoot it already. But what if him did want to do something else? What if him shoot him never fail, and the man just shoots something at the last moment with himself? But one thing I do get out of it though, what Dennis I say, the incomplete part for me feel more like a relationship thing. It feel like, say, him incomplete without him woman. Like he wants a woman or somebody in life. Because to me, clothes on bed, food on couch, sink, things on, like, there's nothing inside of that will scream nothing to me. It just me feel like and me knowing him too, right? I said to myself, I feel like, say, it to me, it just feel like it miss him woman. That's how we get out.
Kevin, you froze. Kevin, you're being frozen for a minute now.
Man, what's going on here?
Turn off the camera and turn it back on. But yeah, knowing him, I feel like that I feel. Like if woman are there, it's a Lego himself. But that seems way more extreme, because we knowing him, in place now don't ever look so.
And that's the thing, it's like part of me wants to disconnect what I know of the creator to what is he actually communicating to me as an audience member, without including my own personal experience with this person.
But there's something that's coming out, a theme that's coming out in all of this, with everybody and understanding everybody. Kevin's film was a film where him do because he knows if him son did that, shambles, him gonna get to do it. Julia and Dennis, I don't know, subconsciously could have been, what's the thing that could happen now that I would be happy about, but I'd rather it not happen right now. Right? For Lecky just turn a new chapter in his life for him and move and when be dead to a new space, and these are the best way to translate that. For me, I wish that child would put on that tablet sometimes and just go outside a little more, and it was a perfect opportunity to do that. So are we taking out little pieces of ourselves in some way or another and creating films? And you talk about the human experience, and that's what films are. No matter how you look on it, either it have been your subconscious or something that you take and say, no, I'm gonna make this about something about my life in some way or another. Some stuff will really frighten you, or something will make you feel at home, or something where like, because I heard them want to document it, I want people to feel how I feel, and at the same time make them get a laugh outside. So we have a look look at films as conversation. You'll be conversation starters. You know, in a incomplete, the state of incomplete. You won't get 100 people watch that film. 100 people will get 100 different meaning from it because of this. Yeah, and as you say, you put something in a black and white. It leaves you more time for observation. Mm-hmm. It leaves you more time for what you call it. It's more a focused observation than if you had color, your idea all over the place. And it's the brightest thing. Sometimes the brightest thing in there not even mean nothing. But in black and white, it's where the light falls and how it falls and stuff, and the hard shadows. I like how it looks. I think it's really nice. It's really, really nice. But we have to remember, say, filmmaking. I made a post on my story the other day about storytelling. And I'm like, sometimes your film doesn't have to be grounded in reality. It doesn't. It's just the thing that make people love film is their ability to relate to it.
True. Because you can create whatever world you want.
You can create any world. It's just being able to relate. Persons relate to it. And the quicker more people can understand that, it's the better we'll start having better filmmakers in Jamaica, if you ask me. I think we've been so caught up in having the best this and the best that I think we forget say there are stories to be told, even if it's stories about ourselves, because everything else we said, I think every story that was told here is a reflection of something happening with somebody in each person's film. I think it is. Yeah.
You know what what I realized too is, the movies they talk about the most is the one people do not like or they like. Mm-hmm. It's not the in the middle one. It's not my film where you'll get it.
Yeah.
It's not your film where we get it. You realize when they are talking about his film where all of us have a different perspective on that we're not getting. Like, where is this? Where does it go? And that is the filmmaking that gets studied in school and all these things. Mm-hmm. Because there's so many ways it can go. It's not like, oh, that's what 1917 is. That's what Blade Runner is. Yeah. I mean, Blade Runner ending can leave you thinking, right? Anything will leave you thinking, leaves you thinking. You understand? Because then if it not Denny, Wentworth film could be the same if there was some sort of different thing to the ending. What if out of nowhere she go outside and then you see Anna just grab her and pull her away? What could have that been?
I'm gonna say that for anything to be added to that story, it was probably some sort of danger. The possibility of danger.
It could have been easily be that. But and not to say that never crossed my mind, but I'm like, I don't want to. It's already terrible that we have instilled fear in people.
Exactly. And that was not the intention of the film.
And I did not want to do that. So you can change stuff with us a bit, something with a little. Just one image could have changed the whole story. One other clip to the thing could have changed the whole story. And I just say human again. It's just human experience and the interpretation of human experience. Some people are gonna do it practically where, like how you did yours, Lecky, and then some people are gonna do it like how Randy do it, where you have to sit down and be like,
I have to think about it. Yeah.
You have to go get a thought. Or as I say, you can look on, you can explore your greatest fears, even if you're not thinking about it. And when I say fear, it's not something bad. It's just like, is this something I'm ready for or something I'm not ready for yet? In a Dennis and probably Julia case. Or it can be something where, as Kevin said, all right, more I spend time to do this, but sometimes the best time to do it is when I am home alone. Because at the end of the day, and that it comes down to, because Kevin had to find something that he could do when Kimani is not around. And you have to just look at it like, what is, I can share my experience or whatever with people, or sometimes it's not even that like you want to share your own experiences, but your ideas, it's something that's actively happening to you, and it's easier to tell that story than to try to tell somebody else's story.
Thank you for listening to the A New View podcast. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more information on today's episode, check the show notes below if you are on a podcast platform, or the description if you are on YouTube. See you next episode.